If you have been to the U.S. Open, you've undoubtedly walked past and admired that statue of Arthur Ashe on the Fountain Plaza. It is called Soul in Flight, and it was installed on the grounds here 25 years ago to honor Arthur Ashe's memory. There is, however, a story behind this stirring work of art that very few people know. Here's John Wertheim.
Walk through the gates on the south side of the National Tennis Center, and you can't miss it. 14 feet high, weighing roughly 2 tons, cast in bronze, piercing the sky, celebrating its 25th birthday this year. The statue, titled Soul in Flight, a memorial to Arthur Ashe, stands regally between courts. It's the creation of noted artist and sculptor Eric Fischl.
Looking straight up is not accidental.
Not at all, yeah. Besides trying to keep your eye on the ball, which is my problem when I play tennis.
This is your service motion, right?
Yeah, it is so not. I wish it was.
It's not just that Fischl is based in New York, not far from the National Tennis Center. He's also a tennis guy.
When I met with the board, the first thing I said is, I was born to do this. And I came on the serve, which is both the most beautiful shot in the game, and it's also the one in which the server has the most control. So right there, I was thinking, that's a good place to start thinking about Arthur Ashe.
You'll note that Ashe does not hold a racket in his hands. It's intentional, Fischl says.
I cut the racket off to make it a baton.
Symbolically.
Yeah, to pass it on. That's what he represents, what's at the start of something that others have to carry on.
Note, too, that the statue aligns perfectly with the Unisphere, Arthur Ashe silhouetted by a representation of the world itself. While the commemorative statue celebrates Ashe, it does not replicate him. Ashe was deceased at the time of Fischl's work, so what's a sculptor to do? We can confirm. Fischl found his model not in Ashe, but in, wait for it,
Jan Michael Gamble?
Yes. You know his serve?
That's the serve being depicted in the statue.
Jan Michael Gamble. Yes, the former American pro, now a Tennis Channel commentator we should add, possessed a classical serve. Mostly using a photo, Fischl incorporated Jan Michael's sweeping motion. Now, taken by time, the story can be told. None of this is to take away from an extraordinary work that has aged gracefully.
I'm proud that it achieved certainly some of the things that I'm talking about, and at the service of a sport that I truly love. So what more could I want, right?
And none of this takes away from Ashe, his achievements, the full measure of the towering figure he was then and remains now. It's just not him who is being depicted mid-serve.
And so the truth is told about this beautiful work of art that still stands 25 years later, sentinel outside of Arthur Ashe's stadium. We got to get Jan Michael out here to relive the pose.
He's here.
Right?
We'll see him later up top in the TV booth area. Jan Mike is here. I can tell you, as someone who faced his serve, it was ferocious. And it's elegant, too. I mean, he could thump it down, but he did have a classic motion. Really beautiful.
By the way, Eric Fischl's work, he's a serious artist. He's got stuff in the Guggenheim. One of his paintings recently sold for $4 million. And so in addition to everything else that the U.S. Open is, it's a living, breathing art gallery or museum. And it's nice to know, especially that piece about him cutting off the racket to become a baton. How symbolic is that?
That's what really stood out. And Arthur Ashe, he was the elegance that is depicted in that sculpture, and also the start of trying to create more humanity, trying to create more equality, and doing it in his way. So it's phenomenal when you walk by and you see the statue, and to now know the story behind it, the full story, is phenomenal.
All right, thank you to John for revealing that unknown part of that sculpture.